Thank you.
Ding, ding.
Good evening and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville's regular council meeting for March 10th, 2020. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:07 p.m. We'd all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call, please.
Mayor Grieslock?
Here.
Mrs. Gatos?
Here.
Mr. Poach? Mr. Harvey?
Here.
Mr. Wolfram?
Here.
Mr. Ursinko?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Little?
Here.
Mr. Ratcher?
Here.
Ms. Rock?
Here.
Mr. Hugus? Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
We have an executive session announcement that Council conducted an executive session for personnel and litigation reasons prior to Citizens Night, Thursday, March 5th, 2020, beginning at 6:45 p.m. until 7 p.m. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at the March 10th, 2020 meeting. Council also conducted an executive session this evening, March 10th, at 6:30 until 7 p.m. And once again, council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at tonight's meeting. Council, we have our minutes in front of you of the Citizens Night meeting of February 6, 2020, the work session of February 6, 2020, and the regular council meeting of February 11, 2020. Was there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Here.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr.
She
Wolfram?
changed her here to an aye.
I hear him. Aye.
Mr. Ursinko? Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Our tax collections, council, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. List of bills and budget transfers. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments or questions?
Wait a minute, are we doing the bills or both?
This is list of bills and budget transfers together, Mr. Harvey.
I don't have any problem, so motion to approve.
Very good. So we have a motion and we do have a second to
Yes.
approve those. Any other comments? And once again, for everyone that's watching, we did discuss these items at our agenda-setting meeting on March 5th. So there is a motion and a second to approve the list of bills and budget transfers. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. And the payroll report, council, is there a motion to approve?
Motion. I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Ursinko?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, we have vacancies on boards, commissions, and authorities. In your packet, it's in the blue section. Mrs. Gatos, do you have anything this evening?
Well, I'll go ahead and do the appointment for Tracy Poach, Ward 2, to the Park and Rec.
There is a motion to appoint.
So moved. Second.
There's a second. Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Harvey.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Wolfram.
I have some issues I've seen on the way in the past couple of days, Mr. Mayor, they're putting up those signs regarding Northern Pike.
This is
Wait,
about
sorry.
vacancies on
Do
boards.
you have any?
Okay.
No.
No, okay.
Hold that thought, Mr.
Yes,
Wolfram.
Gotcha.
So you don't have any
Nothing,
appointments or
no.
nominations? Very good. Mr. Arcinko.
I do. Tracy Poach for,
Gregory, I just did that.
What did you just vote on? What did you just say aye on?
you know what, I was looking at paperwork, I'm sorry.
That's two of us here.
No problem.
They're all nuts tonight. I am.
Coronavirus.
We can
We should dismiss maybe.
we can start the meeting over again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do that.
Good.
We can go back here and come back out.
Okay, just to confirm, yeah, we did appoint.
We did, yeah.
We did appoint for the Parks and Recreation Board.
All right, all right. You win.
Mr. Williams, anything this evening?
Nothing.
Mr. Wilson?
No, thank you.
Oh,
Very good.
I should pay attention, huh?
yes,
That was the hard part.
yeah.
Council, moving over to our consent agenda, to our motions. We have two
Thanks,
motions this evening.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr.
There was two more nominations on our blue sheet. Two
No, there's not.
Ethics Board.
No,
Yeah,
there's
but
not.
If no one on council wants to nominate or appoint anyone, that's the pleasure of council, and they don't have to act
Thank
on
you.
those items.
Thank you.
Very good. Council, moving to our motions, we have two of them this evening. Mr. Little, please.
Okay, the first motion is a motion to approve a business membership with the Turtle Creek Watershed Association in the amount of $50.
Motion.
Second,
We have motion and a second to approve. Any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey? Aye. Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little.
Okay, the second one is a motion to authorize to advertise public hearings for our 5-year capital improvement program.
motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Mr. Harvey, will you second that?
Certainly.
Very good. Motion and a second to approve. Any comments or
I'll
questions?
even vote for it.
Question.
Yes, Mrs.
Uh,
Davis.
Mr. Little, are we going to advertise, is this going to be ready for next month, or we're just advertising so when we're ready?
We're advertising when we're ready. We're looking at, as I mentioned Thursday evening, looking at the latter part of April,
Okay,
hopefully.
okay.
Okay?
Any other
you.
questions or comments, council? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, moving over to the resolutions. We have two this evening. Mr. Little.
Resolution authorizing the distribution of grant funds for Memorial Day Parade in the amount of, that should be $6,000.
Yes, sir.
That should have been
Yes.
changed.
We
Yes, that was
agreed on
discussed at the work session.
Yes.
So is there a motion to approve this resolution within the amount of
Comment,
$6,000? Well, we'll get a motion in a second first, and then we can comment.
Okay, motion.
I'll second.
We have motion and a second to approve this, so Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, the comment, Greg and I were wondering, I thought we gave them
We
$6,000
did.
last.
Yeah, we just changed.
Oh, okay.
So that's, we had motion and a
Okay.
second to approve that.
I'm leaving.
Thank you. You can tell my hearing aid's not working.
And I didn't hear either, so I'm
It's
guilty.
that end of the room.
I have it written right here. Look,
Okay, council, so.
Can I sit up front?
you are a friend.
Council, for the first resolution, there is a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the Memorial Day Parade in the amount of $6,000. Voting in the affirmative means you agree with this. Roll call,
Aye.
please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Our second resolution, Mr. Little.
Resolution authorizing the distribution of grant funds for Monroeville Independence festivities in the amount of $12,000.
Motion.
Second,
Motion is second to approve. Any comments, council?
Comment, Mayor?
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
I would like to take that 12,000, raise it to 15,000 because of the amount of business it brings into the community on the 4th of July. And I think the extra $3,000 can add some additional units to the parade and some different ideas perhaps that they can't buy with the $12,000.
Or are you making a motion to change? it
I'm
to
making a
12?
motion, yes, sir.
Is there a second to change it to 15,000?
I'm listening.
The only
Well,
comment I have
I'm
is.
sorry, Mr. Harvey.
No.
Well, is there a second to change it?
I'll second that.
And then we can discuss it.
I'll
So we
second.
have motion and second to change this to 15,000. Council,
Conversation?
go ahead. Yep.
I'll start. I had spoke with Mr. Johns, who's the head of the committee, and he never said anything about needing any more money when I told him it was on the agenda. That would be my only statement. He did not say that they were looking for more funds or,
And the committee has been, they do meet and,
yes, obviously, and.
Oh, no, I didn't talk to Mr. Jones.
Well, okay. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, if, I would have thought that if they were underfunded or needed more funds, he would have said something like,
Yeah.
Well, if,
as we raised the Memorial Day 1 to 6,
which it was last year.
right. And Mr. Johns directly put in his own request, and he didn't say that he needed more.
well, he put in what was in last year, that's why.
Yes.
And he was hesitant to ask for anything additional.
And he told you that?
Sorry?
He told you that?
Yes.
I wish he would have told me too, or more of us.
Well, council, I mean, it's certainly the pleasure of council if you could vote on the 15, or you could vote on the 12 that was originally requested, and that we do have time to
Mayor,
increase
Mr. Mayor, yeah.
that, you have time to increase that
Comment.
amount?
Okay, maybe, just food for thought. Would it be hurtful if we table this item and then talk to Mr. Johns and the committee? And if they need additional funding, we can do that. I'd be willing to withdraw my second if
Yeah.
that would.
Or you could make you could make a motion to table, if you
I'll
would like
make a
that.
motion to table.
I'll
Second.
second that.
We have a motion and a second to table. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
And just for the listening audience, to vote yes for the tabling just means that we're holding off on this vote until next
That's all.
month.
Correct.
If you vote yes, that's all you're voting on.
Can I ask us another question?
No.
If
On-
we
no,
give
on the-
them, if
we're on
we
the
give
vote for
them,
We're on the vote for the table, sorry.
There's no discussion on
I
it.
just, am I allowed to talk?
no, we're not allowed to
Table,
talk.
table takes
The
over.
only, you can, if you vote no for the table, then we can talk about it further, but you could,
Well, if a majority votes.
if a exactly, that's what I mean, sorry, thank you, that's why the attorney's here. Or we can vote, you can vote in the affirmative, and we talk about this next month.
I'm just worried they need it sooner than that.
I think he has to get down payments to the fireworks people.
We need
and all
I
that.
need the vote on the table.
I'm gonna say
On the
no.
table, I need the vote.
I don't want to table it.
Okay, we have a no on the table, Mr. Harvey?
No.
No?
Huh?
Mr. Wolfram, your vote on the tabling,
I think they need the money.
No.
Mr. Osinko?
Well, then, if that's the case,
Well, we don't have the votes
The
then.
motion,
Yeah.
I'll vote no too, then. I didn't know they needed it right
Yeah.
away. I did not know that.
Mr.
I'm just
Williams?
telling you, I'm not against.
Mr. Harvey, I'm sorry, let's just get, procedurally, let's just get through it, and we'll get, thank you.
Mr. Williams?
No.
No,
Okay, the motion fails on the table, thank you. Okay, now,
No.
we already have a motion and a second on the 15, we can still discuss things further, go ahead.
Okay, so my other point would be is if we only gave them the 12, can we give them 3 more later? If indeed they agree, yes, that would be very helpful. Can we do that?
I'd be good with that.
I would suggest just raising the $1,500 and let it go at that.
That's 3,000 more.
15,000, yeah.
$1,500
and-
would be half of
Yeah,
3,000.
yeah.
Well, let's not complicate this.
Yeah, let's don't complicate it.
They are trying to get more bands, I understand now, so I
Yeah.
am in favor of going for the 15, as I just heard word from the head of the committee. So, there we go. I'm glad we didn't table.
Well,
Can you read that information you got?
Mayor, may I talk?
Now,
Mr.
that's
Harvey.
my thoughts, so,
I-
Mr. Har-
When I was at the Monroeville Visitors Convention Bureau meeting with Mr. Johns, I think I could be wrong, but I think he indicated to me that this amount of money was fine because they still had some. But
I know it's nice.
all right, I didn't hear that.
I said, do you need more money?
Give them the 12, Mr. John said the money's.
okay, scratch that.
When?
Well, council, we have a couple options.
The worst we can do is give it to them and they.
And they have more next year.
Keep it if they don't use it, yeah.
So there's a motion and a second, so are we amending this resolution to
My,
the
my,
amount of...
my whole feeling behind this, it'll help the community just as much as it helped the
I don't know how it's the
parade committee. Because of all the people it brings into the community for the restaurants, and I don't know about the hotels, but the restaurants and different things like that, which is very important. The restaurants look forward to those parades that we have.
So what is the motion in a second?
Well, we have a motion to approve, and what I'd be seeking was, is there a motion, is there a majority of council to amend the resolution to make it 15? Or are we voting on the 12?
Okay, once again, I'm going to ask, what am I voting on here? Did you amend the motion to
It
15?
has not been amended yet.
I would make a motion to amend it to 15.
Second,
So
let's do it.
15,000.
Yes.
15,000.
let's take the roll call vote to change it to 15,000.
Okay.
And with that, we'll also, at the same time, we'll approve that as well. So voting yes for this means you are approving the resolution in the amount of $15,000.
The amended,
Is everyone's,
the
Yes.
amended resolution.
the amended
Yes.
resolution, is everyone clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Wolfram?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes finally have it. Good. All right, council, moving to our reports of our municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher, do you have anything this evening?
No, I'll give my time back.
Thank you. We were going to get out of here quick. Mr. Little, please.
Yeah, just to repeat what I mentioned on Thursday evening, PennDOT has notified us that Northern Pike will be closed near Abers Creek, just up the road from Abers Creek, from March 16th, beginning this Monday until July 2nd for fixing the hillside, and they do have detour signs up. Information is on our website concerning that. Also, once again, Monroeville has been included in the Banner Communities of 2020, and Banner Community given out by the Allegheny League of Municipalities is that you meet all kind of benchmarks with respect to finance, with respect to overall management, with respect to police operations, public works operations, planning. You meet certain benchmarks, and we received our Banner Community certification on Friday, where Mr. Williams and Mr. Wilson and I went down for lunch down there, down at the PNC Park, to receive from the county executive, Mr. Rich Fitzgerald. So that was all. Good time was had by all. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Mr. Hugus, anything this evening?
No, sir.
Ms. Rock?
I have nothing.
Very good. Is there anyone in the public that would like to comment on any municipal item? You just sign in, please, sir, and state your name for the record.
What the hell is this? Like super. Jesus.
My name is Robert Serafini. I am a member of Monroeville.
Welcome.
I have two questions. Bel Air Pool, you're supposed to have an idea what's going on by April 1st. Has any resolutions been going on about
We
that?
have a meeting scheduled with the other pools on Monday, the 16th.
Okay, so you are formulating something.
We have been working.
Now, Mr. Wolfram brought up about the Northern Pike, and I'd like to hear what he has to say, because I was going to bitch about that.
That'll be in his report.
Yes, thank you.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Very good. If there's anyone else who would like to address council, we'll close that part of the meeting, and we're going to move over to our reports of our council members. Mrs. Gatos, please.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy birthday, Mr. Arasinko, on Thursday.
Thank you. 39 again.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good God.
That's why you couldn't.
Happy early birthday to Sharon.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, and that's it. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Mr. Harvey.
Here we go again.
No, no. I quit.
Great.
I think I read the events happening at the convention center last time up through this meeting, so I'll wait and read that rest of that list at the next meeting. However, I did promise I would read this every time,
Yes, we did.
so here it goes. Terrain race is set for October 10th, 2020, with the possibility of adding a second day, October 11th. Location is Monroeville Park West. As of February 1, there are 1,500 participants registered. The public can register at terrainrace.com.
Indeed.
I wanted to, this year marks the 65th year of service for Monroeville No. 5 Fire Company to its community. I wanted to congratulate them for 65 years of service,
Nice.
which means that Monroeville No. 1, 3, and 4 actually have more years, and Company 6's 65th is coming up. So basically, thank you to all of them, but I wanted to announce their 65th birthday. A new sign is complete at 22 and 48. We will be attending a class for its operation this coming Monday, so hopefully we'll start to see messages on it very soon. Scratch that one. And here's my last report. I want to express my concern about Governor Wolf's plan to charge all the communities for the state police. I think we as a council should send our dissatisfaction with this plan. The residents of our community already pay state taxes, which partially go towards the state police budget, and they pay local taxes to pay for the Monroeville police. According to the information that I have received today, I have the whole county printed out here, and the municipality of Monroeville is going to be charged $27,529.
17.
Is that correct?
17. 17.
Oh, I'm reading from the wrong column. I apologize.
17.
17,000.
17,000. But that's for additional state police coverage for what I don't know. Because even back when I was on the Monroeville Police Department, we went out and assisted them more than they assisted us. When they couldn't get troopers out to the Parkway East for accidents, Monroeville Police sent cars up to handle the call. And that's not backup, that was to handle the whole call because they couldn't get anybody out there. Doug, does that still occur?
Rarely, yes.
Okay. And so this PA News Bulletin that came out, I think is totally unfair. The communities that don't have police departments, sure, they're going to pay, but everybody else is paying too. There's a multiplier that you take this income from the borough and you multiply it by 0.25, and that's how you get this figure. I just would like to make a motion to council that the mayor and the manager send a strong opposing letter to Governor Wolf's office on this plan.
Second.
Questions, comment?
Go ahead,
Okay,
Mr.
I have also a report on that from the Allegheny County Boroughs Association. I would like our letter to go and join, because what we're doing from the County Boroughs Association, we're gathering all the mayors and presidents of the council, whoever, to join in that effort to oppose.
I think you should do a resolution, not a letter.
We can, right, the resolution would be good, but the letter I would like, Mayor, if you would join the other mayors and presidents of council in absolute opposition to that. Again, Ron, thank you for bringing that up. I was going to do the same, but we are going to fight that at the state level. And we're at Seven Springs, I'll just say this real quick. We're trying to get the governor there, obviously for other reasons, but if he does happen to be there, I am certainly one that's going to bring that issue up to him on behalf of the Allegheny County Boroughs Association. Thank you for your time, sir.
So, Mr. Harvey, you made a motion, there was a second of the letter. However, maybe we could make that a resolution for your motion, your second.
Do I need to change that or to a resolution, or can?
Just verbally change what.
Okay, I would like
For the
to change that motion
Be
to be a
good.
resolution instead of a letter.
I'll second again.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Yeah, and as far as a letter, we can definitely get one drafted as well on top of that. But I think the resolution, if we have that for next month's meeting, that we can vote on, that'd be great. And Mr. Harvey, anything else?
That is it.
Very good. Mr. Wolfram?
I don't know what I did.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I just can't wait till this Northern Pike goes down, because I think it's just going to be a time bomb. I've already noticed mistakes being made. I imagine PennDOT's the one that put up these signs out on the streets, and if you pay attention to them, there's a sign at every intersection, every street, and they're so misleading, it's unbelievable, because they're pointing to the street as a alternate route to get to. And they should have put those signs up with bags over them so nobody can read them till to the time frame. Because right now, anybody who just travels down Northern Pikes thinks when this time comes, they could go down like Oak Point, because it says it's pointing right to the street. And it says detour, Northern Pike detour, at everything. Laura Lee, detour, pointing that way. It's all the way down Northern Pike. And I just think it was a bad job by PennDOT. They should have covered the signs until appropriate time. Because again, right now, it's going to be a disaster. I can just see it coming.
They're all dead ends.
Yes, thank you, because I forgot about that. I was going to bring that up. They're all dead ends. Every street is a dead end. I mean, they may loop around, but initially, they're still a dead end. So, like I said,
I can contact a rep from PennDOT tomorrow to go out
I
and
mean,
take a
it's only a matter of a couple of days before it happens, but people are going to get the impression right now that they can go down these streets. And it's bad enough when they come through our plan. We see it all the time when something happens down there. And Doug, I was going to ask you if you had an extra car laying around, we could block it right there at, Maria or something like that. So,
Are there any signs that say local traffic only?
no, no. It
That
just
would
says detour. I was going to take pictures and put them up, but
I had someone talk to me today, too.
yeah,
Well, Mr. Little can contact our PennDOT rep and make sure that that's signed as.
it would
as
be
he can,
nice, yeah, because I
I
can still
think
see it.
Mr. Yugas told him to do that on purpose.
I can explain the signs. I had nothing to do with them, but I can explain them.
Mr. Hugus, go ahead.
So they're there in a temporary measure. When they start the project, they're going to take the signs and turn them. They're all meant so when you're exiting each specific road, because they are all dead ends, when you're exiting the roads, it's going to say Northern Pike Detour to take you out. So you're not going to the closure, you're moving away from the closure. I don't disagree. At this point, they're pointing.
Confusing,
They're
yeah.
pointing
Yes.
into the roads,
Yes.
but when they start to work, they're going to just physically turn a sign, so you leave, so everybody goes past number 4's fire station.
Yeah, Mr. Little, you go by that way going home, do you not? When you go by, take a peek, you'll see what I'm talking about.
And then they'll have additional signs up too.
I haven't
and
really paid
barriers.
attention to it. I'll look at it.
Yeah, you'll see.
There's 2 sets of signs on every street. It says Northern Pike Detour, then it has an arrow that points the direction you're supposed to exit.
Yes.
That's
yes,
what
it
the
does.
purpose of the signs are. But in today's world, they're pointing the wrong direction because the road's still open.
Correct, yes. When they appropriately put the signs in the right place, they will point appropriately, but right now, as people pass, right now, I mean, if somebody's just, not new to the area, and they come down there, and they're gonna say, oh, okay, when the detour comes up, I'll just go down this street or that street.
I don't care how many signs you put up, there's going to be confusion.
Oh, definitely. Other than that,
You could have Santa Claus standing out there with his road closed down, there's still.
well, we're gonna have Doug do that. We're gonna have Doug, I think, or something like that. Other than that, that's my report, sir.
Very good. Mr. Arsenko?
Happy St. Patty's Day coming up to our Irish folks here. Just real quick, I'll be real brief. Thank Mr. Harvey for bringing that up on the fee with the state police. Here's a good one for us on council and for all the residents here in Monroeville. We at the Boroughs Association are working on a new agenda, plans, if you will, to reduce the cost of legal advertisement, jobs advertisements and the like. Right now, I can't give you much more detail because we're working through all the legal steps that we have to take. But we're hoping to save at least 50% of what we spend. Mr. Little, you know off the top of your head how much we spend a year?
On legal ads, I
And
think
job postings, everything.
about 15,000.
So if we can save 7,500, that wouldn't be so bad. More to come on that. Last but not least, I'll do it briefly. And I'll do this next month as well to remind everybody. Governor Wolf signed Act 77 last year in regards to the new voting machines with paper records, paper trails, if you will. We discussed this at length at the Boroughs Association. The law also gives the option to vote by mail. Maybe a lot of people didn't know that. Also gives you more time to register to vote. The law also provided $90 million to reimburse all the 67 counties 60% of the cost of the new voting systems. And all the systems statewide passed the penetration testing, access control testing, testing to ensure all access points and all software and firmware are protected from tampering. So this is going to be I believe these machines should be the safest, I think, that we've ever had in the state. And with that, I'll concede. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Mr. Williams?
My thought is if the state's going to charge us $17,000 for state police, then our police department ought to be able to charge the state $20,000 for assisting the state police on things that we assist them with. We should be able to recoup that money. Other thing is, I want to wish the public a happy St. Patrick's Day. Have a safe holiday. Enjoy the parade in Pittsburgh. Summer jobs for college students. We're still looking for applicants, so get those applicants in. And happy birthday to Greg, 39 and a lot of months. And for
Lots
Sharon,
of months.
you have a happy birthday and another happy year. And that's my report.
Thank you. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, happy birthday, Sharon. Thank you. Greg, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I like Bobby's explanation, 39 and a lot of months. So,
Can't deny it.
yeah, I'd like to wish everybody happy St. Patrick's Day. And as you can see, Mr. Williams brought out his Irish best here tonight. My next issue is the senior center, and The senior center is lifestyle for active adults at 50 years and older. And pretty soon I'll be old enough to join, so I'm still working on that. And I just want to remind some of the people, there are some nice programs coming up. You got the Silver Sneakers program, a fitness program, a lot of yoga programs. And if you're not a member, join, because it's very nice. That's it.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Harvey, you had something else?
I was just going to ask Chief Cole,
Everything I was going to
are the communities throughout the state that don't have their own police departments paying the same percentages as the rest of us? I mean, proposed?
As I read that, Councilman Harvey, no, they're not. They're paying a different multiplier. So they would pay a higher rate if they do not have a police department. That's, I think, what he's trying to do there is, and obviously he's claiming that we all use state police services, but we also get taxed for that with our state tax dollars.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Whether, in the difference also in Allegheny County is that Allegheny County does not use the crime lab services of the state police. A lot of counties, even though they have their own police departments in their municipalities, they use the crime lab that the state police runs statewide. We have our own crime lab. Us in Philadelphia are the only two. Everybody else, if you're in Allentown and get involved in an issue, or in Harrisburg, it's going to the state police crime lab. If something happens in Westmoreland County, it's going to the state police. Washington County, even if you have your own police department, Peters Township's a big police department in Washington County. They would take any of their crime lab stuff to the Pennsylvania State Police in Greensburg. So yeah, that is one of the arguments maybe you could make there. But certainly, that was an unusual thing. This is an unusual event that he wants to charge municipalities that have their own police departments. It was never that way before whenever it was a proposal made. It was always police departments that relied
Yeah,
on the
and
Pennsylvania
mutually
State
it
Police
was mutual
as a
aid.
They
primary
needed
department.
us, but they called us. If we needed them, we called them.
Absolutely. So.
Chief, don't go away, Chief. Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, please.
Chief, I forgot to bring up, this is more than one call. We're having those tandem trucks still coming up Monroeville Boulevard. Today was a perfect example. Almost took a resident out at about 60 mile an hour passing them on the right when they were leaving. I'm not sure where they're going. But apparently this is happening regularly, and it's now even all day long. Can we have some more patrols down that
We
way?
certainly can, but again, we come down to speed enforcement on that stretch of road is difficult to do.
You should be able to, if they're going over 40, 50 mile an hour,
Well,
you
you
should
should be
see
able to,
that.
but then in order to do that, you have to use we call our NRAD system, which this all goes back to the radar bill that I was just talking to Councilman Harvey about. If we had radar, the capability, it would
It's
take.
still, it's still, I didn't even bring it up because it's
Yeah.
still in committee.
It's still in committee, but I'm hearing that we still have the best chance to possibly get that. But again, it's problematic to try to do speed enforcement. Certainly, one of the things we could look at, again, one of the other options there is the weighing of the trucks because they're all coming from the mill. They're coming from the Edgar Thompson
And they're
mill.
cutting through our.
And they cutting through to
through
come up
us.
on a 22 to go east on 22 where they do a dump or wherever it is.
That's my
happening.
understanding,
That's
but I
correct.
don't know that fact.
Yeah, Lower Monroeville Road, and that gets to Lower Monroeville Road, coming out of Turtle Creek, up to, up through Monroeville Boulevard. If you can watch them here at the Old Stone Church, they make the left usually there, go down to 22 and start going east.
Well, what's sad is, and this is for all the council, do you realize how much damage they're gonna do to our roads? And there's nothing we can do about it unless we
State and
start
county.
dealing with it.
That's a county
Well,
road
they're not
there.
doing damage to the roads with speed, they're doing it with weight.
Wait,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah, well, the weight, agreed.
That's what you meant.
But part of that's our road.
Chief, can you do,
Well, it does have a weight limit, but I don't think, we can't enforce that. It's difficult for us to enforce that without the capability of having access to scales, let's put it that way. So,
If you can
I-
help in any way, we'd appreciate it.
okay.
Because that was terrible with this resident was
Maybe
quite
just put
unhappy.
patrols there
Yeah, and slow
more
them up.
often and slow them down.
And a lot of times when they're coming up there, or one way they're going, either coming up or going down,
Yes.
they're empty, so they're going to make the weight. If they're filled up, they're not going to make the weight. You're talking about the
It
triangle.
seems like when they're coming this way, going,
Our ability to clock speed in Pennsylvania is so antiquated.
Yeah, it
It's
just,
actually dangerous if it's inclement weather or anything like that.
well, today it was raining, that sky had to be doing, they thought about 60.
okay.
Thank you, Chief.
thank you, Chief.
That's all.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
problem.
Thank you.
I'll wrap it up with last day to register to vote for the primary election on April 28th. The last day to register is April 13th. You can do that through the county. You can do it online through votespa.com, and it can all be handled right through there. To please get out there and vote. It's always important. Happy birthday to Sharon and Mr. Cinco coming up. And we had a presentation last week about the coronavirus, COVID-19, and we are very closely monitoring this, and we'll continue to monitor through the Allegheny County Health Department. They put out information regularly on a website that they have directly through the Allegheny County Health Department, so you can check that site. They're also on Facebook and Twitter. Any updates that Monroeville has, we will put out there as well on our website and through social media. And then one of the best ways that we can alert people is through Nixle alerts. So if you are not signed up for that, for Nixle alerts, you can, on your cell phone, you can text message to the number 888-777, and then the message would be our zip code. And then that way we could push messages out to you if there's any kind of alerts or changes that we may have to make here. As thankfully it's staying, out of our region, but, we want to be prepared with our hospital systems and with our county health department, like I said. And if we need to make any changes to our public buildings, our library, our senior center, even the municipal building, we'll do so. And we'll get that information out to the residents the best we can. So with that, I'll seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you and good night.